Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I talk about the NWSL, women's soccer, just soccer, only soccer. So we're in the international break right now, and that means there's a lot of international soccer going on right now. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how I'm going to work my schedule around watching the England and Germany matches and doing videos on them, but I'm sure I'll figure that out in the next couple days, particularly after those games. In this video, the match I'll be reviewing and discussing is the friendly between the US women's national team and South Korea. The US will be playing South Korea twice. The next match will be Tuesday, October 26th. These two friendlies are going to be some emotional ones because these are the final two matches Carly Lloyd gets to play in before retiring from international soccer, and then retiring from soccer altogether after finishing this NWSL season with Gotham FC. And hopefully Gotham gets to go to the playoffs, because that means more Carly Lloyd. So yeah, definitely an emotional time for Carly, the national team, the players, and the fans. Hopefully Carly will be able to get, some more international goals before retiring. Alright, let's get into the lineup. So for the lineup, standard 4-3-3, we have French in the goal. For defenders, we got Casey Kruger, Tiana Davidson, Becky Sabran, and Kelly O'Hara. For midfielders, we have Katarina Macario, Lindsay Horan, and before I go on, Lindsay Horan is also going to be the captain for tonight's game. So that's awesome. So yeah, Macario, Lindsay Horan, and Rose Lavelle as the midfielders. For forwards, Megan Rapinoe, Alex Morgan, and Tobin Heath. So good starting lineup, not really the one I was expecting. So defensively, Casey Kruger and Tiana Davidson are awesome. These two next to each other in the defense, great. Vlatko clearly chose violence for tonight's defensive line. Maybe Emily Fox will be getting in on the action for tonight in the second half as well. It also seems as though we won't be seeing Andy Sullivan in this match due to a knee injury. It's minor, but the trainers probably don't want to make it worse by allowing her to play. They kind of want to see where it's going to go. So it's one of those situations where it's better safe than sorry. Alright, so for starting forwards, I thought we would, have players like Sophia Smith, Lynn Williams, or Mallory Pugh starting, but I'm guessing Vlatko is saving some of them for the second half, along with putting in Carly Lloyd in the second half as well. I can kind of see what Vlatko is going for. Smith, Williams, Pugh, or Lloyd could sub in for the starting three forwards. Yeah, that's fine. So let's see how this goes, and let's keep an eye on Macario. Hopefully she can rack up some goals and assists. Alright, so the first half we're off. 1 minute in, the US is kicking it into gear. Heath crosses, ball is kicked away. So yeah, the US is starting off fast. South Korea kicking the ball out of bounds, like a lot. The US just keeps getting throw-ins. Like, they're down by the South Korea penalty box. And so the South Korea is just kicking it out of bounds whenever the US gets it. So US throw-ins times 3. 2 minutes in, Morgan sends it up to Rapinoe. Rapinoe can't get to it. South Korea coming down to the US box with the ball. US able to dispossess, but it's kind of crowded getting the ball cleared because there's a lot of South Korean pressure. Like, the US players are surrounded by players. So lots of pressure on the US from South Korea. 4 minutes, the US wins a corner kick. Pino takes it, plays it short to Tobin, who plays it to Macario. Macario shoots, Korean defenders in the way, so she couldn't quite get it. Pino sends it in soon after, defended away. 5 minutes, ball sent into the Korea box, kicked away. Alex Morgan gets dispossessed. Yeah, that happens in Orlando Pride games as well. That's pretty familiar. Davidson tries to find Heat. She can't. 7 minutes, Alex Morgan with the ball. Korean player kicks it away. Should be a corner, but the ref says it's not a deflection. Definitely looked like it. Alright, so some good long passes from the US. I'm surprised like South Korea isn't even trying to get in the way of those long passes. But good long passes by the US. South Korea coming down the field now. Davidson is the only one in the US box. And yeah, she did great. Great defending by Davidson. Like 2 South Korean players were coming down the field. Davidson got on one. The ball was handed off to the other South Korean player. And Davidson held them off, both of them off, until the rest of the US team could get there. 10 minutes, Macario fouls. Not sure what it was. The camera kept cutting back and forth for some reason. 11 minutes, Heath crosses. South Korea goalkeeper was able to get to the ball before Macario and Pino. Becky Sauerbrunn able to win back possession after the US loses it. 12 minutes, Horan shoots from outside the box. Very close, hits the post. US, I'm noticing, is doing great at winning back possession. And really awesome and aggressive doing these 1v1s. 16 minutes, South Korea crosses. Davidson kicks it away. 17 minutes, South Korea fouls Rapinoe. 18 minutes, O'Hara sends it up for Horan. She heads it in, caught by the keeper. The keeper drops it for like a moment, but the keeper is able to get it back. 19 minutes, a US player goes down, but I can't tell who it was because the camera person cut to Vlatko for whatever reason. 20 minutes, Alex Morgan attempt blocked by the keeper. 21 minutes, South Korea counterattack. Becky able to kick the ball away. Casey and Tierna, like, you could see them on the other side of the field. Like, they were ready to go. Like, if there were any South Korean players coming toward them, they were ready. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone watches or follows the NWSL, but yeah, these two play together on the Red Stars. Like, let's keep both of them together defensively. 22 minutes, Macario sends it all the way up to Lavelle, but Lavelle couldn't get to it. 23 minutes, Korea attempt from distance goes wide. 24 minutes, Rapinoe cross attempt to Heath, but it was offsides. Macario, what were you doing exactly? So, it may have just looked weird on campus, but she did like a diving header by jumping over or jumping onto a Korea player. It didn't look like one of those things where someone sends the ball in and you grab well, you're not supposed to, but you grab the other person's shoulder to head the ball. Yeah, it didn't look like that. It looked like she jumped over a South Korean player and they like fell. It just looked very weird. 25 minutes, South Korea attempt from distance caught by French. 26 minutes, Heath is fouled by a South Korean player. 27 minutes, Rapinoe attempt caught by the keeper. 28 minutes, Heath wanted a foul call after being taken down, not given. 29 minutes, Pino crosses, Miss Morgan. Heath attempt soon after, blocked again. Heath gets the ball back again, but this time she ends up sending it over. 30 minutes, Lavelle with the ball. Passes to Morgan. Morgan can't get to it. 31 minutes, Horan crosses, can't find anyone in the box. Heath attempt from distance goes wide. 32 minutes, Heath sends it up for Alex Morgan. Alex Morgan can't get to it, but Lavelle is there, but nothing from it. 33 minutes, Macario dispossessed. South Korea counterattack. US gets the ball back. South Korea crosses into the US box, kicked away by Davidson. South Korea now on the attack. 34 minutes, South Korea attempt, great save by Franch. 35 minutes, Alex Morgan fouled, US free kick. 37 minutes, lots of action in and outside the South Korea penalty area, nothing from it. 38 minutes, South Korea attempt from distance goes over the bar. 39 minutes, Roosevelt crosses to Morgan. Morgan isn't open. A lot of players got on her rather quickly. That was kind of the theme for tonight when it came to Alex Morgan. 40th minute, Heath fouls a Korean player. 41 minutes, South Korea crosses, kicked away by Sauerbrunn. 42 minutes, Alex Morgan attempt goes right into the keeper's arms. 42 minutes, Kruger called for a foul after getting tangled up with a South Korean defender. I'm loving Casey Kruger's aggressiveness. At this point, the U.S. needs to pressure Korea whenever they get the ball. 44 minutes, ball sent into the U.S. box, deflected off of O'Hare, wins the corner for South Korea. 45 minutes, South Korea corner, played low, sent into the U.S. box, headed away by Davidson. 45 minutes, whistle blown, first half ends, U.S. 0-0. Overall, exciting and thrilling first half, very fast pace. I regret the Guinness and Jameson I drank earlier because it was hard to follow this game just because of how fast paced everything was moving. Dominant performance from the US in the sense of maintaining and keeping possession and getting back possession when it's lost. Like, that had kind of been my biggest gripe for a while when it came to this US team. The US losing possession and not really fighting or putting that much effort into getting it back. Like, now, it's like from what I've seen in this first half, like, they're getting it back and they're fighting for it. The US is coming out fast and aggressive, but they're just not finding the back of the net. They had a lot of openings, but just not quite there. This is definitely a more challenging game for the US, but hey, at least it's not a complete blowout like the US-Paraguay matches. I think the US needs to keep up with maintaining possession going into the second half and be a little more patient on the ball. The ball has been going right to the South Korean keeper, and the US needs to find those openings and catch the South Korean defense and the keeper off guard. There were quite a few of those moments in the first half. The US you gotta keep working at them. US defensive line is really coming out strong in this first half. Davidson looks great. I could see her and Kruger like ready to go when South Korea was outside the US penalty area, especially Davidson. Macario did okay in this half. She did lose the ball and get dispossessed a couple of times. But man, I would love to just see her fight and win back the ball like the rest of the US team. She really needs to be more aggressive when it comes to possession. For the second half, I would like to see the US continue with the aggressive play and the continuous possession and getting back possession if they lose it. I would like to see Carly Lloyd come on, and at some point, Mallory Pugh, Lynn Williams, or Sophia Smith. I don't think all three of them will come on, but, 2 is still good. Alright, so... Excuse me. Alright, so the second half we're off. And so the US is starting the second half with substitutions. Pino, Heath, and Macario out. Pugh, Smith, and Christy Mewis in. 46 minutes. US corner. Sauerbrunn heads it in, and it goes right to the South Korean keeper. Yeah, Becky Sauerbrunn really, really wants to get a goal. Which is awesome because, I think she's probably one of the most, she has like a lot of caps for the US national team, but she hasn't gotten any goals with the national team. So it would be awesome if Becky Sabrin was able to get a goal. Kelly O'Hare too. Alright, so 47 minutes. Pugh is in the box with the ball, deflected, wins a U.S. corner. Pugh takes it, she crosses, it's blocked. Pugh is still with the ball. 49 minutes, Pugh crosses. Smith couldn't get to it. 50 minutes, Lavelle running past defenders, like just brushing them off like no problem. Yeah, she passes to Christy. Christy Mewis. Mewis' attempt goes over the crossbar. 51 minutes, Horan crosses. Morgan misses it. Like, just put Lloyd in at this point, please. 52 minutes, Lavelle fouls a Korean player. Weak foul. Shouldn't have been, but South Korea free kick. 53 minutes, Morgan can't quite get the ball to Smith. She kicks it to Pugh. Pugh doesn't bother with getting it because it would have been offsides. 54 minutes, Mewis crosses, nothing from it, kicked away. 55 minutes, Davidson sends it up for Kruger. Kruger can't get to it. 56 minutes, Davidson sends it up to Smith. Smith to Lavelle. Ball kicked out for a U.S. corner. 56 minutes, U.S. corner. Pugh takes it. Lavelle header, saved. U.S. corner again, nothing from it. 58 minutes, South Korea fouls Alex Morgan for grabbing. U.S. free kick, Mao takes it, goes over Horan's head. Some more good defending from the U.S. 59 minutes, Smith makes a run, can't find Pugh. Mewis is there to pick it up before the ball goes out of play. 60 minutes, South Korea makes a run, the U.S. gets it back. Loving the defense from this U.S. team. 61 minutes, South Korea corner. Horan heads it away. So does Rose. Morgan with the ball in the South Korea penalty area. Nothing from it. 62 minutes, U.S. substitution. Morgan out, Carly Lloyd in. 63 minutes, Carly Lloyd or Mallory Pugh attempt from distance. Caught by the keeper. 64 minutes, Pugh crosses. No one could get to it. Mewis is there. She fouls. I say that with quotations because, really? 65 minutes, South Korea attempt goes over the crossbar. 66 minutes, Lavelle attempt from distance, caught by the keeper. 67 minutes, U.S. substitution, Kruger out, Emily Fox in. This is going to be interesting because I'm looking forward to seeing Emily Fox. 67 minutes, South Korean player down after a collision with Pugh. Pugh is okay. I think the South Korean player, she comes off for a little bit and then comes... Oh wait, she comes off because she's getting subbed out. So, yeah. But she's okay. I think she had like a bloody nose after that. Pugh is okay. Both of them are fine. 69 minutes, game starts up again. 70 minutes, Sophia Smith fighting for the ball in the South Korea penalty area. She goes down, no foul given. 71 minutes, South Korean player goes down. Smith called for a foul. South Korea free kick. Not gonna lie, very impressive performance from Sophia Smith. Like, very tough player. Like, I'm glad she's getting, like, more action in this game than in the game. Like, she's getting more action in this game than in the games against Paraguay. 72 minutes, Smith crosses, ball kicked away. 63 minutes, Smith crosses, or it was either a cross or a goal attempt, but it ends up going wide. 73 minutes, U.S. corner, nothing from it. 75 minutes, Horan attempt goes wide. 76 minutes, Carly Lloyd attempt saved. 76 minutes, Pugh attempt blocked. Lindsay Horan, in the 77th minute, Lindsay Horan gets a yellow card for grabbing. 78th minute, Lavelle attempt sends it over the goal. 80th minute, Pugh crosses, no one there. Lots of action in the South Korea penalty area. Like, lots of action, lots of movement, nothing from it. 81 minutes, South Korea fouls Horan, U.S. ball. 82 minutes, Pugh crosses. Lloyd can't get to the ball. There were too many South Korean players in the way. 84th minute, Lavelle sends it up to Horan. Horan can't get to it. Some great footwork by Sophia Smith. 85 minutes, Pugh attempt blocked, goes wide, ball still in play. South Korea counterattack. Here comes Davidson and O'Hara. They get the ball back. 87 minutes, Christy Mua slips. You don't see that all the time. She loses the ball. The U.S. is able to win it back. 88 minutes, South Korea with the ball coming down the field. Becky Sauerbrunn able to defend it away. 88th minute, Carly Lloyd header attempt goes over the net. Foul on South Korea for holding Lavelle. It was either Lavelle or Horan, but I think it was Lavelle. 89 minutes, Lloyd header attempt picked up by the keeper. 90th minute, South Korea with the ball defended off of it. So 4 minutes of added time. So no foul call on the player holding Horan. 92 minutes, Lavelle sends it up the field, kicked away. 93 minutes, South Korean player runs down the field with the ball to the U.S. penalty area. She's up against Tierna Davidson. Davidson wins the ball back. The South Korean player goes down and tries to call for a foul and tries to say that she was fouled by Tierna Davidson, but that player slipped and Davidson was nowhere near her when she slipped. 94 minutes more action and intensity from the U.S. Christy Mewis or Emily Fox fouls, or both of them foul at the same time. It was a foul for one of them running through a South Korean player. And judging by Christy Mewis's smile, it was her. 94 minutes, whistle blown, second half ends. U.S. draws 0-0. Alright, so wow, what an intense game and performance from the U.S. I'm not even bothered by the fact that it ended in a draw. I'm just happy with how well the U.S. was playing, keeping possession, fighting for possession, and not backing down from 1v1 challenges. Loving the aggression from the U.S. The U.S. kicked into high gear when the younger players came on. Mallory Pugh and Sophia Smith, especially Sophia Smith. She looked great in the second half. Both of them looked really good in the second half. Smith, she came out ready to fight and play. It was a frustrating game still because the U.S. had a lot of great attempts and opportunities, but they just couldn't get it in. I think what Vlatko should do in Game 2 against South Korea is start with these young players. Up top, Sophia Smith, Mallory Pugh, or Lynn Williams. Two out of the three. And if you want experience, then Carly Lloyd and or Megan Rapinoe or Tobin Heath. And for the midfield, since Andy Sullivan is said to be returning in Game 2, maybe start Andy, Christie, and Rose in the midfield. And for defenders, keep it as it was. Sauerbrunn, O'Hara, Davidson, and Kruger. Or Sonnet and Fox. I do like the defensive line for the U.S. team. Anyway, these young players, they want to play and get goals. They want to show what they got and what they can do. I'm still not 100% sold on Macario, but I do like Sophia Smith, Lynn Williams, and Mallory Pugh. Smith looked great in this game. I appreciate her toughness and tenacity, especially. I want to see more of her along with Mallory Pugh and Lynn Williams. I'm hoping Vlatko does start the young players in the second game. They're going to go hard, they're going to go fast, they're going to push, press, and attack like they did in the second half. Anyway, this was a great game to watch despite it ending in a draw. It was great to see these young players and the rest of the US team. I'm looking forward to watching Game 2. The US's second match against South Korea is Tuesday, October 26th. A lot of international soccer is going on that day. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys today or tonight, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.